Hey guys, how's it going? It is Mike from Mike's Garage. Today I got another good one for you. Today I'm going to show you how to replace an alternator on your truck. The other day I was driving and my battery light came on. I'm going to show you how I got to the point where I know it is the alternator, not the battery. And I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks here along the way to make sure it goes smoothly. And we're just going to jump right into it, guys. So first things first, whenever you're testing an alternator or a battery, your number one tool you're going to use is going to be a voltmeter. You're going to test on DC volts. DC volts is the one that looks like a road. Best way to remember it. Now what I did to know that this was an alternator, not a battery, I simply tested the alternator charging voltage. You're going to do that by putting your negative lead on your negative terminal, and your positive lead. I usually do it in two different spots. You're going to do it on the actual battery terminal right there. You're going to test the voltage. Then you're going to do it on the output terminal right there and test the voltage. Let me start the truck and I'll show you guys what it was supposed to have. When you're charging, you should have about 13.8 to 14.2 volts. We're definitely not getting that out of this, so that is a little bit of a problem. In the back of the alternator, there's something called a rectifier. That is what goes bad in the back of the alternator. It's full of diodes, and usually those diodes go bad, and that's what causes your alternator to not charge fully. So I'm going to start the truck, show you guys how to test this, show you the voltage. Remember, it should be at 13.8 to 14.2. We're going to see what we have, and we'll come up with the result. Alright guys, so as I showed you, that alternator was only charging 13 volts, and like I said, you need at least 13.8 to 14.2. Sometimes when your battery is really low, you might get 14.5, but the first step in doing an alternator, we're going to jump right into it, is you're going to take off your negative posts. I'm also going to take off my positive posts. You're going to disconnect the whole battery, and you're going to end up going ahead and taking the belt off. And then you're going to start by taking the alternator off. So we're going to jump right into it. I'll show you guys how to take the battery off. Just these two terminals here, take them off, flop them down, make sure they're not touching the post. So that way when you're taking this positive off, it doesn't touch anything and ground out and burn out your battery. Alright guys, we got the negative, we got the positive off. I also took the positive off of the alternator here. I laid it over here on the side. The most important thing is make sure this isn't touching any bare metal. Nothing's touching any bare metal or anything like that, because your airbag modules are still, they can hold a charge because they have capacitors in them up to 15 minutes. So if you ground out the positive, you could have a chance of blowing your airbag module. So just be kind of sure of that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the belt off, and I'm going to go ahead and take the alternator off, and we're going to go from there.
Oh my God! Wow!
Alright guys, and just like that, we have the alternator out. You can see it wasn't too hard, just 3 bolts. We have that space there. We're going to go ahead and put the new alternator in. One thing to remember too is all these alternators will have an electrical connection in the back. Just be ready for that. Make sure you unplug that before. Make sure your space is clean where the new alternator is going in. let's go ahead and put the new one in. Alright guys, so I got the new alternator here ready to be put in like I showed you. One tip that a lot of people don't know, there's an adjustable nut back here that as you put the bolt in, it pulls it in. Make sure you tap that out a little bit because sometimes I set it too tight and you won't be able to get it locked onto the block correctly before you put your bolt in. So we're going to set the camera down, put the alternator in and get to work. Alright guys, so I got all these started with the electric ratchet. I went in and hand tightened them. Anything that's going to be driven by a belt, you always want to make sure it's hand tight. From here on out, what we're going to do is we're going to put the belt back on, reconnect all the electrical connections, and then test the alternator, make sure the new alternator is working fine and charge the battery properly. And we're going to go from there. Alright guys, we got the alternator in, it's nice and tight. We got the belt on, that's nice and tight. We have our positive and negative terminal on, and we have our lead that goes to our battery back on. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to verify that we fixed the vehicle by using our voltmeter or DMM. We're going to test battery voltage before, battery voltage while the car is running and charging, alternator output voltage, which is going to be with the negative lead on the negative post and the positive lead on our positive post. And one thing to do when you're testing your battery or anything like that, make sure you clear your fan, make sure you clear your belt or anything that could hurt you pulling these wires out of your hand or anything like that. Let's go ahead and just test this battery voltage before so we can verify that we either have a charging or no charge. So right now with the positive or the negative and the positive on, we have 13.1 volts. Charging, you should have around 13.8 to 14.2. That's any manufacturer's specifications that would be good for a charging output. So let's start the vehicle and check it out. Now, it is going to be hard to hear me once we do start the vehicle, so we'll check this, and then I'll point to the DMM so you know what it is, and then we'll check the alternator output, and then I'll point to the DMM so you know what it is. Alright guys, so we're 14.3 and dropping, should be steady right around there. That's a good charging output, a little high, but it's pretty decent. What we're going to do ahead now is go ahead now and check our output. 14.3, about a higher 14.3. Alright, so as you guys saw, we had 14.3 while charging. That is a great voltage. Might be a little high because the battery could be a little weaker from sitting here and not being charged so often. But that's about it, guys. That's how you properly change your alternator. Showed you every step by removing the belt, everything. Very easy work. That's it. That's it for the video, guys. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram at FireTruckMechanic. If you have any recommendations, any comments, please leave that in the comment section, guys. We will see y'all on the next one.